But he says I'm live. All right, I've been on for a couple of days. How's everything? Downwind winds, a little bit different angle. Let's say hi. Now I'm drinking a little bit different concoction. What I did was, notice it's a lot darker than usual. I have some vanilla coffee, and I ground some vanilla coffee. Matthew, how are you? Good to see you. I ground some vanilla coffee, added a little bit of cinnamon to it, and ran my rum through it. So this is vanilla coffee with cinnamon, and it is great. It's really good. It's my new favorite. All right, I'm just eating a couple snacks here. About once a month. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it does sound good. All right. A couple of times a month I eat at least 77% Keiko chocolate. It's good for the cardiac system. And so I got a little chocolate tonight. And because I like a contrast in flavors, I'm also got my wasabi peanuts. Hey Ken, how are you? All right. Nice to have you with us too, Ken. So I got this wasabi peanuts and 77% Keiko. Now, good combination. How's everybody doing? It's been rainy all week. Now I'm supposed to go camping Saturday in South Taiwan, but South Taiwan is dry, so it should be okay. I'm going to bake a cake. I'm going to bake a bean dish down there in my Dutch ovens. So you guys can hang out while I do that. That's going to be good. I'm going to stream some of those operations. You guys probably remember a long time ago, last year sometime, I did a bunch of streams from camping on Periscope. That was a lot of fun. I streamed the Dutch oven cooking that we did. Pretty cool. A couple of looky-loos. All right. Now, I want to mention something about Todd Standing. Todd Standing, just how the name sounds, Standing, S-T-A-N-D-I-N-G, has the definitive Bigfoot videos with close-ups of their faces that show great detail. Now, he said that later this month, he mentioned, I believe he said it was October 23rd, which is early next week. There's going to be a big announcement. Evidently, the scientific community is getting ready to announce that they found a new species. I don't think it's so strange, because remember, the gorilla was only discovered in the 19th century. Explorers had been hearing rumors, about a hairy man-like creature, for decades, and then they finally found it. Now, I don't believe that Bigfoot's interdimensional or any of that other stuff that people talk about. I just believe it's a creature that hasn't been discovered yet and doesn't have a large population. Very elusive, like places like the Yukon and Saskatchewan and places like that. Todd Standing, yeah, just like that. Yeah, he's on YouTube. Check him out on YouTube. He's the guy that took Survivor Man in the woods during the Bigfoot episode. Todd basically says that he's the guy that can take anybody anywhere with him. It's rough going. You have to be in good physical condition. But anybody that can make it with him in the wilderness for a week, he guarantees you, promises you that you'll have direct interaction with Bigfoot. He says sometimes what the Bigfoot does is they come into your camp while you're sleeping and they sit on you. That's the way they interact, because they sit on you. From what I understand, I don't think I'd want an 8-foot, 400, 500-pound primate sitting on me. But that's what they do apparently. So that's coming up, and I think it's going to end up just being some kind of new species of primate that they never found before. That's all. Been kind of busy. That guy just walked in a minute ago. Is fixing the karaoke machine. That's one. I think the customers are making arrangements for girls, what it sounds like. I try not to listen when they're not talking to me, you know, because it's none of my business. So, anyway, that's just one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So what's on your mind, you guys? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? Years in there testing the microphones.你在做什么？
哇，好亮哦！
对呀。
有没有漂亮啊
She said it's so bright. 漂亮啊，当然。哪一个吗？
有一点点，只有一点点。
Okay.
谢谢。
And let me see. What did you say, Matthew? You said you've been packing for 2 weeks. Oh, to move. I thought maybe you just got your concealed permit 2 weeks ago. You know, I've been packing for 2 weeks. That's funny. Unpacking. Yeah, I knew you just moved. So I was going to ask, what are you packing again for? Just going to say, hope the new place worked out. How do you like it? How do you like your new place? I haven't moved in a long time. When I do, it's going to be pretty shocking, actually. So these are wasabi peanuts. Now a couple of guys just showed up, and one of them has a bag of betel nut that he's chewing. These red mouth guys, as we call them here, are just, I don't know, they're unpredictable. And well, I don't want to be judgmental, but excellent, glad to hear that. Matthew says that they finally bought a house. They've been renting for 13, 14 years. So now, what you're paying will be an investment. And you can build up some equity. It's important later down the road. That's nice. I like to hear that. So, I'm looking at a new place in Hsinchu, but just looking. If we make a move on, it'll be next year, after January. Now, about betel nut, okay, I'm going to say it, because a lot of people won't say it. But usually, low-class people chew betel nut. It's a disgusting habit. It's filthy. It ruins your teeth. So you've been looking into opening up a cake shop in this historic area. Oh, that'd be interesting. That would be really cool. This Binglan stuff, it's betel nut. You can look up what betel nut is. It's illegal in the United States. But it rots your teeth out. And what's really strange is I've seen young guys, like 25 years old, truck drivers, with absolutely rotten teeth. And there's no social stigma attached to it. It's not like they have any trouble getting women or anything. It's like, you know, they all got girlfriends or wives, and it's amazing. With completely like wrecked teeth, just rotten. It causes cancer. And if you smoke them, oh, is Ken leaving? Take care, Ken, thanks. I guess I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Ken's got to go take his wife to an appointment. Sorry, somehow I missed that. The comments aren't sticky in the YouTube app. If you smoke cigarettes and chew betel nut, then your chances of getting cancer have increased 40%. Or, no, 40 times. Not 40%, 40 times. Hey Rob, how are you? Now, I saw on TV in Taiwan a program about a guy who got cancer in the mouth 30 years after he quit eating Bing Long, chewing Bing Long. The TV show said that at least 50% of the Taiwanese population is unaware of the cancer link with betel nut. They don't realize that it causes cancer. They also don't know that if you smoke on top of it, and I've never seen a person who chews Bing Long who doesn't smoke. Never seen that. Anyway, that it increases your chance for cancer. Nope, they don't know that. The average person does not know that. So they got a lot of educating to do. And Taipei has over 10,000 betel nut distributors alone. It's just Taipei. Throughout Taiwan, there are who knows how many tens of thousands there are. South Taiwan suffers because that's where they grow the betel nut. It's a type of palm. And these palm trees have very, very shallow roots. And so often what they'll do is they'll tear up the indigenous vegetation in order to plant the betel nut palms, and then during the typhoon, they have landslides because there's nothing to hold it. Anyway. Hey Danny, how's it going? Doing good, man. How you doing? All right, glad to have you on YouTube here. We're just down at Win-Win's. I'm usually sitting over here a little bit more on the other side of the table, but let me show you what they're doing. They're working some vegetables here. Got some good old vegetables, some kind of bok choy. And so she's sitting in that spot. So I'm sitting over here on this other side. Now the postcards have slowed down. We don't have any more from this last week. So let me just say this. If you would like to send a postcard here, particularly to Win-Win, you spell that W-E-N-W-E-N, Win-Win. She loves getting them. Just go to taiwanlive.tv, click on the menu, and you'll see the late night show, which is what I do here, late at night. And if you scroll down, you can read the blurb about what we do, and so forth. But if you scroll down, you'll see a file that you can click on, download. And you can print those and make labels, so you don't have to write Chinese. It's easy. You can just, it's English, Chinese, English, Chinese, English, Chinese. It's interlaced with both languages. And so you can send a postcard here. And also, if you want to send a postcard here to my friend T, who recently had an operation that kind of debilitated him a little bit. His right side of his face is paralyzed. But he's getting a lot better. He's improved significantly in the last 2 months. So you can leave a card for him too. But if you'd like to send us a postcard, of course, we show every postcard to everybody and let them see it. If you look at the past shows, you can see we got some really nice postcards, and people from all over have been sending them to us. It's really nice. And I understand in the United States it's harder to find postcards because people don't send them so much anymore. But in other countries, especially tourist areas, You can still find them. Now tonight, I got this always chocolate. They call it the golden ratio. It's 77%. You can just send it here, Rob, and just, you know, mention T. He spells it T-H-E, like the, because it's kind of confusing. But his name is T. It's pronounced T, but it's spelled T-H-E. You can just, you know, write Mr. T, and I'll take it over to him. No problem. Several times a month, I try to eat these high cacao percentage chocolates for the cardiac benefit. And fortunately, we can get 99% here too. And we also got these fantastic wasabi peanuts, and they look just like that. They look just like that, wasabi peanuts. And the chocolate and wasabi. Of course, everybody knows that chocolate and peanuts go together, right? When you add that little kick of wasabi, wow. And for those of you who didn't hear my description, I infused a new rum flavor. I got some vanilla nut coffee. So I ground some, got just the coffee beans. So I ground some, put them in the drip, you know, device. Added cinnamon, and ran my rum through that. So I got vanilla coffee, cinnamon. It's a lot darker. Let me show you the bottle. It's a lot darker than the normal concoction, and there it is. Yeah, so it's like, man, oh man. It's dark, and it's really rich and flavorful. And I don't know, because I haven't really drank much of it. I just made it. So this is the first time I'm really drinking it. Yeah. You know, if you can get those, if you can get one of those stainless steel, you know, the drip filters that you don't need to put the paper in, that's what you want to do. Unfortunately, they're all made in Taiwan, so I've seen several versions of them. They're fantastic. But what I'm thinking of is that maybe this has a lot of caffeine in it. So I might be, you know, up at 3 o'clock in the morning twiddling my thumbs. Who knows? But sure is good. I'm trying to find some cheap rum. I know Bacardi is not cheap. It just tastes cheap. No flavor to it. I'm trying to find a cheap rum and do that. And let me know. Let me know how it works out. Show me a photo on Twitter. Now, if you're on Twitter, you can contact me. I'm the NH Bushman. That's the New Hampshire Bushman, NH Bushman. Or you can search on MJ Klein. But we have a Twitter group for the late night show. It's a nice group of people. So if you want to join, then you can join us there. Now, let me tell you about another thing that happened this week. Of course, I have a lot of side chats with various individuals from the late night group about other things, right, that don't concern the group. And Henry, we all know Heinrich, right? Henry from Sweden, right? He got this TV box some time ago called, I guess back then it was called the U-Block, but now it's called U-Box, just the letter U, B-O-X. And he told me they're coming out with a version 4, so I found version 4. Yeah, Henry's here. Okay, good. Hey, Matthew's here. Matthew says, all right, no, wait a minute. These comments don't stick. Matthew says, I'd do a cold brew that might be neat to try. Put coffee grounds in cold water, let it sit for 24 hours. Try that with the rum. Might be even better. Okay, what I'd have to do is I'd have to mix the coffee grounds inside, and then I'd have to, obviously, I'd have to filter them. But yeah, I could do that, sure. So, Henry's here. Now Henry got this. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, Matthew said you have to strain it. Yeah, okay. The problem is when I get the rum, I want to drink it right away. So I do the drip filter thing, and it takes about half an hour at the most. Then I can head out and start drinking it. But that's actually not a bad idea to get a little more flavor. And I do. Okay, yeah. Henry says he's got the U-Box 3. I do. What am I trying to say? I don't know. Henry's got the U-Box 3. I just bought the U-Box 4. And it is a really amazing piece of kit. It is an Android-based computer. So it's a box. It's about this big, okay? Really, it's literally about that big and about that high. And it allows you to watch television programs all over the world, but the astonishing part is that it allows you to watch movies all over the world. That movie called Life, the one about, it's a science fiction about the International Space Station. They got some soil samples from Mars, and it grew a culture, and it turns out to be a deadly organism. I mean, I wanted to see that, and I missed it when I came here. And I don't have Netflix or any of that stuff, so I resigned myself to not seeing a lot of these things. And it's there. I watched it. I downloaded it. It's astonishing. All kinds of TV shows, and it's just different apps. It runs under Android, and I highly recommend this box. It cost me, I think it was $3,000. It was about $95 or $100 US for this box, and it's got all these shows and all kinds of television from around the world. You can watch TV, you know, from France, Germany, England, Russia, Middle East, United States, whatever you want. It's got like every National Geographic channel, every, you know, like TLC, Food Network. Yeah, you don't have to download it, just stream it. I know. But I wanted to download it because I was having some trouble with the streaming. So, no, hey Shirley, how you doing? No, the U-Box. It's called Unblock Technology. Shirley, how you doing? So when I go visit America, I'm going to take it with me. You need an internet connection. But yeah, Henry's right. You don't have to download it. The problem is, for me, is finding a block of time where I can watch the whole thing. So, I don't know what Cody is, but okay. So I downloaded, so it makes it easier for me to go back later and play it again. Just pick up where I left off. But yeah, now the box does Bluetooth 4.0. And so you can hook up a keyboard and a mouse. It's got, I forget, is it, anyway, I got about 9 gigs of space left on the it's an SSD inside, and there's a USB port, and it's fantastic. I mean, you know, there's a memory card on it, a memory card reader on it. It's a fantastic box. I'm really glad that I waited for number 4 and got it, but I can see that my wife and I are already talking about getting rid of the cable. Yes, I have a 1 terabyte USB portable hard drive that I'm going to put on it. Shirley just got back from the airport. Cool. So how's everything? How was Jakarta? You said it was hectic. I bet. Now, so for those of you who just joined, I'm going camping on Saturday. I'm bringing my Dutch ovens, and we're going to be cooking, and there's going to be like 5 families with us, a lot of people. So it's going to be fun. And since we're going to be streaming on YouTube, all the people, all of our friends that are with us can be watching on YouTube. That'll be fun. They can comment too. But the U-Box is a really amazing system, and I'm not exactly sure how it does what it does. Now I saw another one today that we have in Taiwan called the 4K. Well, actually, when you go to live TV, right? TBC, you mean TBC, that's the cable company. Yeah, I'm getting rid of the cable. We pay 3 months at a time, so when that next 3 months is gone, we're getting rid of it. But when you're looking at the live TV across the top, you can scroll left and right and get different countries and regions of the world. It's amazing. You can get like all China, all Taiwan, all Hong Kong, all Japan. You know, it's really amazing. So you can get TVBS, which is a Taiwan channel. There are literally dozens of Android apps that are for TV, live TV, that you can download on this box because it runs on Android. And it is just, it's fast. It's really lean. I think that's the way everything's going. See, iOS is locked. Apple doesn't allow, you know, anybody to use iOS except Apple. You can't buy a TV with, you know, iOS. So I gotta find that. Is that in the Google Play Store? I have not entered my credentials yet for Google Play. But yeah, you were saying that the other day. The problem is, if there is a problem, there's too much. I don't really want to spend a whole lot more time, you know, looking at different stuff. But I just want to make it easier to find the things that I want. See, for example, we have on Animal Planet, they used to have Finding Bigfoot on here in Taiwan. Now I can't find it. It's gone. So maybe I can find it under TV shows there, you know. That sounds like the thing to do. That way I can just go through and watch them. It's an awesome system. I just hope it's not illegal. I don't know how they're doing the movies. I know it's all BitTorrent downloads from, you know, thousands of sites around. Henry says, yeah, the big issue is so much to watch, so little time. That's right. When we got it, my wife told me, don't go crazy and spend all your time watching it. No, don't worry about that. Because she knows every night, before I go to sleep, I like to watch YouTube. Now the cool thing is, on the U-Box, one of the apps is YouTube. Now I can't go live from it. Now maybe I could, if I signed in, plug the webcam into the USB port. But anyway, one of the apps is YouTube, so I can watch YouTube videos. And that's really cool. My kid likes it. What I do with my kid is I try to teach her how to act. Henry says, yeah, probably could go live. I try to teach my kid how to act. And one of the things that I show her is stupid things that other people do that get them into trouble. So one of my favorite channels on YouTube to show my kid is Fail Army. And my kid will come up to me and she'll actually say, Papa, I want to see stupid stuff. And I'll show her, you know, the kid with a chair on the edge of the swimming pool trying to dive in. And of course, you know, it's Newton's law, right? So as soon as they push off, the chair moves and they splat in the concrete and they get hurt. And so what I do is I pause it. I show her the setup and I pause it and I say, what's going to happen? And you know something? Most of the time, she knows it's going to happen. So what I can do now is, if I see her, she's standing on the sofa, jumping around, and she's going to lose her balance, I'll tell her, do you remember what happened to the girl on YouTube? The stupid stuff? Remember? And that's a good reference for her. She'll go, okay, and she'll sit down. You parents, you might want to consider Fail Army as a powerful teaching tool. So let me tell you, it is. My kid has seen more wipeouts and splats on YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. Amazon sells it? Well, it's got to be above board. It can't be like bootleg. They advertise unblocked technology. And so, I don't know what that means. Oh, I see, okay. I don't know what unblocked means. You mean, do I think Fail Army can still help you, Rob? Is that what you mean? As a teaching tool? Oh, yeah. You guys are funny. It's got to be mainstream, so stupid stuff, you know. Say what helps me. There's always somebody that's done something I never thought about. Something stupid I never thought about doing. But I will tell you about one real life thing that happened to us. I was at my dad's house when I was about 19 years old with my friend Tom. And Tom's a smoker, and he carries cigarettes and a lighter in his pocket, shirt pocket. And I built a fire in a fireplace. And I don't remember why he bent down, but he bent down near the fireplace, the hearth. And his lighter fell out of his pocket and went right in the fire. And so naturally, we both stooped down to look in the fire to see if we could see the lighter. And then we looked at each other and then stepped back, and a big fireball came out of the fireplace. That's one for you right there. Darwin Award nomination. You know, since I changed the settings on YouTube to a really, really low latency, the real-time interaction is fantastic. It's so much faster. In fact, why don't we do one of my famous latency tests? Let's do this. Prepare like a 1 or something in your chat box, but don't press enter. And I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown, and then you can press enter, and we're going to see what the latency is, okay? So just prepare some kind of, it doesn't matter what it is, a Y or something for a yes, or a 1. So let me give you a 10-second countdown, all right? And then I'll say, 1, go. All right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Man, that was fast. That's 5 seconds. That's good. Because I remember when it used to be on the high side of a minute. So that means that we've got latency here on YouTube around Periscope time, and it's the video delay. It's not the chat. The chat is almost instantaneous. Because if I use my second device, and I send something, it shows up on my phone within 1 second. What we're talking about is the video delay. The video delay. So you can't react until you see me or hear me say something. So that video delay is what's causing the latency. I can't stream in 4K, but who cares? So yeah. Hey Mike, how you doing? How's everything? How's the weather now that the hurricane is cleared out? You got beautiful skies, sunny skies, I hope. We've had a week of rain. We started out with that little typhoon that buzzed by South Taiwan. It's gone now. I was just telling everybody I'm going camping on Saturday. Mike says, no, it's raining again today. Wow. Well, you can always use the rain. You can always use the rain. Especially here in Taiwan, we have water shortages. We need our typhoons to fill the reservoirs. Another storm on Saturday. Oh boy. Well, I hope it's not severe. I follow you on Twitter, so I'll be watching the timeline to see, what happens as you report it. But we're going to be camping in Nantou. You know where that is, Mike, down in southern Taiwan, in the mountain area. And it's supposed to be crystal clear. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my shortwave radio. I got a long wire antenna I'm going to throw way out in a tree. Yeah, it is lovely there. You're right. It's fantastic down there. And so I'm going to be streaming. And I don't know how many of you are interested in the shortwave. I may show a little. May show a little bit of the shortwave. The 7-Eleven truck. 7-Eleven truck here. See, 7-Eleven. They just slammed on brakes. Kind of strange. That means you can't get through there. But I'll bring my shortwave radio, and if I find anything interesting on the shortwave, I could definitely show you on the live stream. Mike says, went there last summer, stayed in a log cabin. It was fun. Yeah, I'd like to know about that log cabin. But yeah, Nantou was fun. We've gone camping there a bunch of times. If you go to our blog and you search on camping in Nantou, or just search on Nantou, or just search on camping, and you'll find those stories. They're pretty interesting. It's a place where you can, build a campfire and sit. And I got something today, something I haven't had for a long, long time since I lived in the States. I bought a good old-fashioned campfire coffee percolator. You know, the kind that bubbles up into the little glass dome on the top? Really cool. Made in Japan. Expensive. It's like $100. It's actually more than that. Made out of stainless steel. Stuff in Japan is expensive. But the fact is, it's a real campfire kind of coffee percolator. And so I spent a little while today grinding some of my coffee that I want to take, because I don't want to grind it at the campsite. I'm grinding it at home in my hand grinder. I've got a crank. I like the experience of things. I don't want to just press a button and go zzz, I want to do it by hand. So I've cranked a bunch of it, and I have an airtight container that I've got the coffee in. So yeah, it is going to be fun. Because a lot of people haven't seen those around here. And then everybody uses automatic coffee makers. When's the last time you saw a percolator? Earn your turns. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. When's the last time you guys saw a coffee percolator, a real one? I had one in the States that was the blue porcelain kind with a little, detachable, twist lock, little glass dome in it. You know what I'm talking about. This one made from Japan, the glass dome doesn't come out. But seriously, it's pretty cool. The one I had was like a relic. Yeah, Rob says years. Yeah, it's been years. Yeah. But it's a nice way to make coffee. It fills the house full of fills the house full of the smell of the coffee. And only takes about 10 minutes, Old-fashioned way of doing it. Oh, now listen to this. Matthew says, my buddy uses one for camping. The problem is he never cleans it well, and it sits in an old camper with spiders. So before you brew any coffee, mice too, oh boy. So before you brew any coffee, you want to boil it out for hours, right? Oh, that's too bad. You got to take care of your stuff. You can't do that. Yeah, Rob says it adds flavor. Yeah, it does. It does. What's the flavor? Hantavirus? Is that what they call it? Yeah, from the mice. But this thing came in a nice cinch bag. It's kind of you can see through it. It's a mesh cinch bag, but it's a nice bag to keep all the parts together. But the thing costs, I'm gonna say, 110 bucks US. It's like, holy cow. Anyway, I went to the camping store today, and I'll tell you what I did see that was absolutely hilarious. I knew about them, but I'd never seen them. They make tumblers, like beer glasses. Matthew says that's exactly what his buddy says about the flavor, adds flavor. They make tumblers, beer glasses, and whiskey glasses made out of silicone rubber. And they're perfectly clear like glass. They look exactly like glass, except they're springy. So it's really funny. You can drop them on the floor and they bounce. And I saw a couple of those today, and they're absolutely hilarious. Those camping glasses that look exactly like glass, like real glass. I knew what it was, but I still couldn't help it. I mean, I had to go over and squeeze it, you know. And I showed my wife, and I said, "Watch this." And what are you doing? It's glass. It's not glass. And perfectly clear, just like a glass tumbler. That was pretty cool. But they're expensive. The whiskey glass, it's about, I don't know, this big. The whiskey glass was 20 bucks. The beer glass was 30 bucks. 30 bucks? Whoa. Got like a bug on my face. 30 bucks? Yeah, well, there better be gold flakes in there for that price. Yeah, you better have gold flakes suspended in the latex rubber. Now I got a hair drop down. This is live TV, man. Where's my makeup? My makeup person. The calorie content, I have no idea, Mike. Did you hear me say what I put in it earlier? Oh, here we go. Finally, the hair finally precipitated out of the solution and went on my glasses lens so I could blow it off. Did you hear what I did earlier? I ground some coffee. Okay, I got some vanilla nut coffee. Sorry guys, this is live TV. Excuse me. Please pardon me. I got some vanilla nut coffee beans. I ground the coffee beans and I put them in my my drip rig. I've got like a decanter on the bottom and a conical stainless steel drip rig that doesn't use paper. I put the coffee in that, and I put some cinnamon in with it, and I infused the rum that way. I poured the rum into the coffee filter, and it works great. It just catches in the glass vessel, and I just pour it back in the bottle. So this is actually vanilla nut coffee with cinnamon. It's really, really dark, super dark, but it's vanilla nut coffee. And I'm cutting it with soda water, obviously, because it's a little bit strong. So it's a little bit lighter colored. But there's no sugar in it, and there's no sugar in the vanilla nut coffee either. So, of course, cinnamon doesn't have sugar in it either. It's all low carb, and actually cinnamon is anti-diabetic. Just don't take too much of it, because it does, if you have the cassia type cinnamon, it has an element in it that's not good for the liver, so you don't want to freak out the liver. But normal amounts of it's got to be low. It's I think the only caloric value would be in the alcohol, And as you know, nobody's been able to measure the glycemic load of alcohol, because the amount of alcohol that you would have to drink to measure. See, the only way that you can take a measurement is inside a human body. I don't know if you know this. But all these glycemic measurements that talk about the glycemic value of foods, they were all done in a clinical trial with human beings that were physically measured. They ate the thing, they ate the stuff, and then they measured it and they took an average. Well, you can't do that with alcohol because the ridiculous amount of alcohol that you would have to drink would get you so drunk that you would, like a Klingon on blood wine. I mean, you'd never be able to stand. It'd be ridiculous. It'd be dangerous. So that's why they say that alcohol has no glycemic value, because it's too small to safely measure. So yeah, I think any of the caloric value is going to be in the, in the alcohol. However, there are antioxidants in coffee. And I think I got some of the antioxidants going in the hooch. And there is a small amount of carbohydrate in coffee, not much, and a minuscule amount of carbohydrate in cinnamon. So now this time I didn't put a tremendous amount of cinnamon in. I wanted to favor more of the vanilla coffee, and it's really good. So yeah, Mike says I want to get away from drinking beer. Your drink sounds like a good alternative. I got to tell you, where you live, I mean, you can get some astonishingly good whiskeys there, and a good whiskey. There's nothing wrong with a good whiskey, and everything in moderation, right? And I know you're not talking about getting bombed. You're just talking about having a relaxing couple of drinks. And, nothing wrong with whiskey, and some of the whiskeys are good with soda. A lot of Irish whiskeys are good with soda too. So yeah, I would be looking at that because beer, even though there isn't a big glycemic load on it, we do know that beer, especially in men, puts weight on, especially in the tummy. Hence the phrase "the beer gut," right? So, yeah, Rob says I'd suggest whiskey, Mike. He said not sweet. Yeah, you're right. And everybody knows I like the Glendronach, or Glendronach, I guess it's pronounced Glendronach. And Mike, you can get that. And you're a lot closer to the distillery than we are here in Taiwan. And Rob got some of the Glendronach, so he can give you a little review on that. But I found, especially before dinner, yeah, Mike says, I'll try whiskey. We do have so many here. He's in Ireland, by the way, guys. For those of you watching the replay later, Mike's in Ireland. You got Irish whiskeys, you got Scotch whiskeys. I mean, come on. You guys can even get bourbon there, Beer does have a tendency to put on weight. We know that. And if you're drinking wheat beer, you can pack it on. Even though the glycemic value is not that high, it doesn't really spike your blood sugar that much. There's something about the chemistry that tends to make you put on a little bit of body weight, body fat from beer, which is too bad because I like beer too, and I like Japanese beer a lot. But yeah, I was going to say, nothing to me beats a shot of whiskey to supercharge the appetite before dinner time. Especially for me, because I like scotches. A nice peated scotch with some of that's the smoke, or Highland scotches. I don't know what it is, but I prefer Highland scotches. I mean, to all of them, I think. But a nice Highland scotch or a peated scotch, a shot will it's like an appetizer for me. It's really nice. And I like to drink whiskey, even fine scotches. I like to drink whiskey with a meal. People might think that's weird because usually you would, drink it afterwards, A lot of people use wine as an aperitif, right? But wine or whiskey as an aperitif, but I like well, here's the thing. I'll just say it like this, and I've talked about this before. I like different sensory inputs. Like, I was eating 77% chocolate with wasabi peanuts because I like an assault of flavors. Slice of heaven, yeah, that's what Rob says. And I used to smoke a pipe years ago. And I had some pipe tobaccos that were really aromatic. And I noticed if I ate chocolate and took a hit of the pipe, or ate peanuts and took a hit of the pipe, or certain foods, I got really interesting flavor interactions. Really amazing. Of course, I don't smoke anymore for health reasons. And the thing is, though, you can still do that with other things. And alcohol is one of them. You don't have to smoke a pipe. You can just take a sip of whiskey with some cheese. I got smoked cheese at home. And a Highland Scotch. You put them together, it's like, wow. I mean, you wanna chop the cheese and stick it in the whiskey. I mean, it's funny. And you do these different things, you know. Some guys will take like a bland cracker, but they'll put peanut butter on it, or they'll put a jam on it, like a particular kind of, like maybe a blueberry jam or something, some particular kind of berry, and try that with a whiskey. Really something. It's fascinating, and it's a fun hobby, and it doesn't cost much, and you can't get into trouble with it. So, okay, Rob says be right back. Thanks, Rob. I think he's going to go get some peanut butter on a cracker with some Glendronach. That's what I think Rob's doing. I think he's going to try some of that. But yeah, different cheeses and chocolates go together with different nuts. Costco sells a mixed nut that has low sugar in it. You just take a handful of those and then chase it with some whiskey. It's hard to go wrong. It's hard to go wrong. Certain desserts too, like cheesecake. Cheesecake can go very, very well with a whiskey. And the funny thing is I know I'm probably making some people cringe, but you do know that in the wine world, people match wines with food all the time, right? You having meat or fowl, you know, you're gonna get a wine. And I don't know anything about matching wine because I don't drink wine. I just know that they do it. So why wouldn't you match a whiskey? Because, you know, Irish whiskeys are different than Scotch whiskeys, and they're different than bourbons too. They all have their own characteristics. A friend of mine is really, really into Tullamore Dew. He loves Tullamore Dew, which is a top-class Irish whiskey. And he swears by it with pecan pie. And I gotta tell you, he ain't wrong. He makes these little, he makes pecan pies. He makes these little mini pecan pies, like 2 or 3 bite pecan pies. Great for after dinner. They don't spike your blood sugar because it's not a huge slice of it. But man, oh man. When I get home, after talking about this, I'm gonna whack a slice of that smoked cheese. And yeah, it is a cool mix. And let me tell you what else matches well. I'm gonna try some of that with. I've got a Highland Scotch at home that I'm gonna try with that smoked cheese. Cherries and cherry products, cherry byproducts. If you guys don't have one of these, I have a food dehydrator. And the funny thing is if you cut like a peach or a plum or a banana, apple, virtually anything, and you into slices, and you lay them out on the racks and you dry them. Once you remove the moisture, the flavor increases on the order of magnitude. And so if you put like say you've got like a dried cherry, you've smashed the cherry and you've extracted the pit, so it's just a piece of mashed fruit, but it's dried. You pop a cherry in your mouth and let it soak up the saliva, and you're enjoying those flavors, and you shoot it with some Highland Scotch. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. So certain things, like I found out from cooking, because in Dutch oven cooking, especially in the States, not so much here in Taiwan, I was trying to be real creative and do different things. And I found that peaches match beef for me in my Dutch ovens, but cherries matched pork. And I used to do some dishes in the Dutch oven where I do a roast pork with cherries. And it is just, man, oh man. So now we're getting into some good territory. This is one thing I'm looking forward to in the future when we have the Bootsy barbecue sauce app. Mike says, gonna make dinner, great to catch you live. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it. Take care. Take care. And hopefully you'll enjoy some of those flavor combinations we were talking about just a few minutes ago. So, yeah, that'll be great. Let me know what you think too. Let me know what you think too, okay? If you, no, thank you, Mike. Let me know what you think. If you try some of those, like, you know, some of the whiskeys with cheese or peanuts or something like that, let me know what you think, okay? I'd like to know. Always talk about this kind of stuff in the late night group on Twitter. Yeah, that's worthwhile talking about. Thank you. Now, Rob, have you tried matching the Glendronach whiskey with any other flavors? Have you tried that yourself? Any of the, you know, like any kinds of fruits or snacks? Just wondering. I know it's like a little bit expensive and you don't want to waste it, but I'm just saying, have you happened to have, like, you know, some cheese or something on the side and like that? Yeah, Rob says, no, I'm hooked on straight up. Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you. It's a really, really nice dram, straight up. It really, really is. And I definitely can relate to that. The Glendronach is just, it's off the charts. And the 16 year that I had in Kaohsiung, you know, at the Cowboy Bar, you guys saw it. It was red. It was really something. So that was just, it was the color of this rum, but it's a whiskey. Well, we talked about some really interesting flavor combinations. Now let me tell you what I'm doing for the camping trip. I've got this all in cans. I've got kidney beans, lentils, and black beans. I'm going to mix all these together. My base in the Dutch oven is going to be sliced bacon, cubed bacon actually, bacon and white onions. Rob says, I seem to enjoy all the Highland Scotches. Rob, you might be like me, you might be a Highland man. You might be a Highland Scotch man. Although there are a couple other ones that I do enjoy, but I always seem to come back to the Highlands. You're right about that. When I come back to the States, we're going to have a Highland whiskey night and just check them out. So I'm going to, in the Dutch oven, I'm going to start out with white onions diced and bacon. Then I'm going to add garlic after the bacon has browned, because I don't want to brown the garlic too much. Yeah, we can definitely have some discussions about that, but that's part of the fun. Part of the fun of whiskey drinking is learning about all the different types. Yes. And I can introduce you to some Japanese whiskeys too that you might like. So after the bacon, white onions, and garlic goes in, I'm going to add some brown sugar, and I'm going to watch it caramelize. Then I add minced pork, like hamburger, but it's pork, and we cook that until it's nice and brown, and then we add the beans to that, and then I add an intense amount of turmeric. And turmeric is a really underrated, as far as like American cuisine goes, it's an underrated spice that has such great health benefits. In fact, Westy and Lalier in Bali use the mother root of turmeric in their cancer cure. Of course, the stuff you get for cooking is not, it's not part of the mother root, it's part of the daughter root, but that's okay. It still has good health benefits. And the turmeric, of course, with, you've got to add a little bit of salt to it, but usually what I do, instead of salt, when I make these dishes, I use oyster sauce. Because oyster sauce adds another dimension instead of just salt. The oyster sauce adds a really, really nice savory flavor to it. And then I always got to raise the heat up on the tripod, to get it away from the fire so it doesn't burn, doesn't overcook or cook too quickly. And I just slow simmer it and let it just bubble for about 3 hours, and then everything's done. Now the beans are already cooked, but the flavors haven't developed until you cook them like that for about 3 hours in a Dutch oven. So that's the dish I'm going to make in my 12-inch. I've got a 10-inch, and my wife wants me to bake a couple of cakes. So the last time we baked cakes in the Dutch oven camping, we didn't actually have a cake mix. We just had cake powder. And so at the campsite, my wife and her sister, they added some eggs, they added some water, and they made the cake flour. And I baked it in the Dutch oven, and it came out as a huge muffin. I mean, like a 10-inch round, you know, this high muffin. It was pretty funny. A little bit hard on the outside, which, you know, crusty, which the muffin would be, but the inside was soft. And she doesn't want to exactly do that again, so she has a cake mix. So, oh, ground pork and beans. Well, you know, you have like Van Camp's pork and beans, right? But no, ground pork and beans it's off the chart. And if you feel like being a little bit experimental, oyster sauce. And the thing about the oyster sauce is they make a variety of them. Like they make oyster sauce, they make vegetarian and non-vegetarian that has mushroom flavor in it, or shredded, is it shrimp or shredded clam? I think shredded clam in it. So and try the turmeric. Let me know what you think about the turmeric. The turmeric adds a whole new dimension to the dish. I went to one of our friends' house about 4 months ago, and he wanted to have a cookout on a Saturday. And I brought my Dutch ovens, and I made this bean dish I'm talking about with the lentils and everything, and I put the turmeric in it. And I gotta tell you, it was within 20 minutes they were scraping the bottom of the Dutch oven, and I had enough for probably about 40 servings. People were going back for seconds, thirds, and fourths because the turmeric is always something. Ham and bacon and beans. Yeah, see, I'm going to use the bacon as the base of it for the saltiness. But I'm also going to use brown sugar to caramelize it. See, I want that caramelized flavor in there. See what I mean? It's always about flavor combinations and controlling the different flavors, and it's kind of hard. I knew a culinary genius named Marcus who made a tiramisu that I cannot understand how he controlled the flavor so well, but he did it perfectly. And I've always strived to try to control the flavors and blend them really well. But if you use the bacon with the white onions and the garlic, and then add the brown sugar, okay, and caramelize that, then add the ground pork to it, and you're cooking the ground pork in the caramelized, you know, oil from the bacon, basically, right? And of course, you know, the ground pork makes its own oil too, as you know, it comes out, it leaches out as you're cooking the meat. Man, you know, you can't tell anybody anything. Nobody can tell you anything. It's like, you can't tell me nothing, man. It's like, this is it. So, Matthew says, glad I had a good breakfast, making me hungry. That's good. But I think, before it's too late, I think I see a dram of whiskey in my future with a slice of smoked cheese before I go to bed. That's what I think I'm going to have. So if you guys want, I will hook this up. I've got, you know, this clamp and everything. And if you guys remember, I think you guys remember, most of you were with me back when I did the Dutch oven cooking at the campsite last year on Periscope, remember? And I do have 2 phones. Maybe I could do Periscope too. I don't know. But I want to do YouTube Live because I really like YouTube Live, and it's really high resolution. And so I want to, yeah, you guys remember that. I want to show like a, you know, bird's eye perspective of cooking on the Dutch oven, right? And I think you can't go wrong with that. That's what I think. I think you can't go wrong with it. And I'll show you the, I mean, unless it's absolutely some kind of a thrash, but as long as I can do it, and my wife's not rolling her eyes, I'd be more than happy to show you guys cooking in the Dutch oven. And then the, yes, I think you do too. Yeah, don't cook my phone, yeah. That's good advice. That's really good advice. Don't cook my phone. Thanks, Rob. Because I got to tell you, if it drops into the Dutch oven, it's just going to add a little more flavor, right? I got a little clamp the other day. We have in Taiwan like so many different phone clamps, and this one is it's two circles back to back, a big circle and a small circle, and the small circle clamps on a pipe, and the big circle opens up and clamps on the phone. So I could just maybe pop that on the. I don't know if the angle would be right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I got to feature one over the other, and. Anyway, I don't, excuse me, so did my tooth. I don't have anybody that can act as my photographer on this particular expedition and handle the gimbal, but I can use my trusty clamp here, set it up on the tripod, and have it aiming down, and then I'll just manhandle it and wrench it back up. When I'm gonna talk to you guys. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. And I'm bringing my percolator, and I'm bringing some vanilla nut coffee. And we'll be making the cake. I don't think they have any frosting for the cake. I think we're just going to eat the cake dry. I'm cutting down on my drinking. Tonight I only drank one mixer. I didn't bring another mixer. I'm done. One mixer and I'm done. And so let me see how much I have left. I might bring this, yeah. So I still got quite a bit left. I might bring this with me and introduce it to some of the other guys that are coming with me, so. Yeah, but Matthew, you guys have some great camping experiences in North America that we don't have here. See, everything is spoon-fed here. I was at a campsite last year where they had wooden platforms for you to put your tent on. I told my wife, I said, this is so sterile, this is crazy. And they have bathrooms with showers. Thank you very much, Rob. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You take care. We'll see you, man. Thank you. Enjoy your Highland Scotch. Every night in Taiwan, see, in Asia, we take a shower at night as opposed to taking a shower in the morning. We sleep clean on the bed, right? Which now when I go back to the States, I got to take a shower every night. I can never go back to that. And so every night, everybody has to take a shower at the campsite. So what do? They have a shower at the campsite. They have a series of them in restrooms. Yeah, everyone should. Yeah, I agree. When I was camping in the United States, I had a Cabela's Alaskan Guide tent. It was a 6-man dome tent with a vestibule on the front. And I was with a Taiwanese person, and the Taiwanese person told me I have to take a shower every night before I go to sleep. So I bought a shower and rigged up a hot water bag and the whole thing. And that's what we did, and I did too. It was fun. But it's kind of spoon-fed here. In fact, I went to one campsite that showed cartoons with a projector on the wall of the bathroom. They had a big blank space in the middle, painted white. And so all the kids went down there at 8 o'clock at night and watched cartoons. I'm like, so I mean, when I used to go camping in New Hampshire, we took our guns. And the last time we went, we saw a black bear. We heard him. He was really close to our camp. We had to have a big fire to keep the animals away. That's the kind of camping that I'm used to. There's no bathroom. You got a shovel. You dig a latrine, and you bury it. That's what you do. They gave you a big capsule. It looked like a kind of capsule you eat, but it's about this big. And inside is lime, and you put it on your latrine, all the stuff that you did, and then you bury it, and it helps it go away. So, yeah, that's the kind of camping I'm used to. So when we go back to the States, I might take my wife. I'm sure Phoenix would love it, but I might take my wife on some real rough, hardcore camping. We'll just have to see. Anyway, thanks so much for joining. We got to end this. I appreciate it very much. I didn't even realize how much we're going to talk about tonight. We talked about some really cool topics, with the flavor matching and so forth. And the cooking. I really liked that. That was great. And I'm looking forward this weekend to be able to share some of this with you guys about how we're going to do the different dishes, because we're going to do some Taiwanese style dishes too. So I'm not just going to be focusing on the Dutch oven. I'm going to be going around and showing you different things. And somebody in our group has a takoyaki maker. That's the little taco balls. Yeah, and they make them for squid, and they make those. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Matthew. Matthew says, looking forward to seeing the camping trip. Take care. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I had a great time. Thank you so much. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time on Late Night. Thanks very much. And you know what's coming next. Bye-bye.